What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back here for yet another Tottenham update. We've got a few little different updates and an international roundup that rounds up the end of the international break as football comes back this weekend. Tottenham against Newcastle at St James's Park on Sunday. You know where to go for the watch along. But let's get into the update and let's start off with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, as he's been making quotes on Jose Mourinho. And let's see what these quotes are. And he says, "He would become a guy I was basically willing to die for. I felt increasingly that this guy gives everything for the team, so I want to give everything for him. It was a quality he had. People were willing to kill for him." Do you think that's still the case?
I hope so. Look, but the thing is, the people who are in the squad right now who are fully behind him are all our best players. That's the thing. And I think that's quite telling. I think people realise, I think the better players clearly realise what he brings to the football club and what he brings to the team. But for the fringe players, it seems to be a problem. It seems to be a big problem. And I don't know. People say he's lost his magic. People say he can't inspire like he used to. Time will tell on that one. There might be some truth to that, but I think all in his past, no one has anything except for maybe like Pogba and stuff. No one really has like anything but glowing reports about Mourinho. Luke Shaw. Yeah.
Look, I think there are a couple of players, but do you think this is a thing where in the last couple of jobs, the Man U job, the back end of the Chelsea job, even the back end of the Real Madrid job, do you think this is a similar case where people that are on the fringes of his team that don't really get on with him are the ones that kind of speak out against him?
It seems so, and I think a few people who don't really buy into Jose, like a lot of them clearly they have some negative stuff to say, but like, you know, so many big players like Eto'o saying he only plays on the wing for Mourinho. Like, he really does have a knack of getting these big players to do what he wants them to do and get them on side, and it's had so many times before.
Didn't Eto'o then come out against Jose when he was at Chelsea with that whole old man thing, or was that more of just of a joke, do you reckon?
I don't know if it came out against Jose, but he was old. He was like 34 or something, so whatever, I don't know, but like when he was in his prime, like he was one of the best strikers in Europe, and Mourinho had him on the wing, and they won the treble doing that, and he was like, I only do that for Mourinho. And like Wesley Sneijder has glowing reports to Mourinho. Even at United, and Herrera had a lot of nice things to say about Jose Mourinho. So
even Rashford, who they didn't really see eye to eye all the time, came out and said he's improved his game dramatically.
Exactly. So nice to hear that from Zlatan. What was that? And why is he talking about Mourinho?
I'm not too sure why. I just saw a little snippet of a quote, to be honest. I'm not sure why he was speaking about Jose.
It was definitely this.
Yeah, it was definitely very recently. So
okay, that's good.
There you go. Let's move on. Alistair Gold, he's been talking about Davinson Sanchez, and he says there are many people at Tottenham who believe if Davinson Sanchez stays at the club, he could reach new heights with the right partner by his side. What do you feel about that?
I feel like maybe, but he's been in the club so long now. It's like, when's that going to happen? He's had a lot of partners. I think he was at his best when he was partnered with Vertonghen, who maybe is maybe more of a leader than Toby, but I don't think either of them are naturally like leaders.
Well, you say that, but I think when Vertonghen was leaving, a lot of people were saying about his leadership qualities. I think we saw it as well. Captain of Belgium as well. So I think Jan does have big leadership qualities, and I think that when he left that dressing room, there was a void that was left there.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I just don't see him as like that guy who's like shouting at people all the time, who's like holding the line there. I think him and Toby worked together so well because they knew each other's game inside out. They didn't have to bark orders at each other, they just knew each other. But when it's like someone else partnering them, I feel like with Toby especially, I feel like he's not much of a natural leader, in as much as he's a very talented centre-back.
I always felt Vertonghen was more of a natural leader than Toby.
So maybe there is some truth to it, but you can't like, if he's relying on a partner to be good, then like a partner's not going to make him.
Did Michael Dawson do that his whole Spurs career?
Or rely on King to be good?
Yeah.
I thought he was okay when like you partnered him with like Yunus Kabul or something. I think he was okay.
He was always at his best when he partnered with Ledley King.
But King made everyone better.
That's true. But I always felt Dawson was nowhere near as good when he wasn't next to Ledley King.
Yeah, that's probably true. But I think, look, that is true, and I think that could be the same with Sanchez. Sanchez has got some talents, but I don't know.
Even Sanchez, even when like on this good form that he's been on recently, it's still not been flawless. You know what I mean? There's still been quite a few mistakes in there. Maybe they haven't cost us like they've cost us earlier on in the season, but there's still mistakes in there.
There is. I'm sure if we brought in a world-class centre-back who's like in his prime of his career, then yeah, I'm sure we would see a better Sanchez. But whether he's the answer going forward, jury's out on that. You've got to say that.
I'm not sure whether Sanchez is the answer or not. I'm willing to keep him if we get rid of Dyer. I don't want Sanchez to be the first defender to go. I think maybe after Dyer, maybe the second defender to go. But I'd happy to keep Sanchez if he was like a backup, not for if he's starting week in, week out.
Yeah.
Let's move on from The Athletic, and they say Joachim Anderson should not be ruled out as a potential Tottenham Hotspur signing this summer. Is he one that you'd really like to bring in?
I like him. Although, you know, he's 25, he's just coming into his prime, and he's obviously been on loan at Fulham this season, and you've got question marks why he's on loan at Fulham, why isn't he in the Lyon team if he's that good. But what I've seen so far from him at Fulham, I think he's been really, really great. And I think his on-the-ball play as well is very strong. He's a really good passer of the ball, which I really, really like. He's got good composure about him. And he's a very talented centre-back. And he's already come in to Fulham. He's made their captain after 6 months there as well. So that shows that he's got good leadership as well. So I think he would be a good one. But again, if we're looking for that like Van Dijk-esque signing, like, is he the one? I mean, I guess who is the one? Like the ones we'd really want are probably unattainable. So I think he's one that we should definitely be looking at, and I think we should definitely consider going in for him. I think he's a talented one. You got to look at Toby as well. When we signed him, like it would probably be a similar situation, because like Toby couldn't get in the Atletico team, went to Southampton, had a good year, and then got his big move to Spurs, and that'll kind of be similar to this in a way.
Yeah, I mean it must be telling where a player's only on loan with. I don't think he has an option to buy with Fulham. So I think with a player that's only on a year loan or whatever it was, to be made captain after 6 months when you're knowing he's going to be out the door in another few months, surely that's telling of what a player he is.
Or what character?
Yeah,
I think so. I think that definitely says something. And I think he had a bad injury at the beginning of the season, but ever since he's come back from it, he's been brilliant. He really has been brilliant. He's been a shining light for Fulham, and he's definitely one I'd consider. And obviously Højbjerg will know him well, so hopefully if he comes back with a glowing report, then yeah, maybe that's one we'll consider.
All right, and talking about that Van Dijk-esque signing, Fabrizio Romano has said this. He said, Milan Skriniar remains a Tottenham Hotspur target as Jose Mourinho loves the centre-back. The club are convinced he'll be the perfect signing. Inter Milan, though, now want 75 million euros for the player.
Well, there you go. We're not going to pay anywhere near that. We weren't even going to pay 45, let alone 75. So I think we had our chance last summer. We didn't pay up, and now he's back. We had our chance because he wasn't in the Inter team, and they were willing to sell him. But now he's a fixture in their back four or back five.
And had a brilliant season.
And he's had a great season. Looks like they could very well win the league. So I can't see this one happening. And I think, again, another one we've missed the boat on, like Grealish, like Bruno, a few of them now. So it's a bit frustrating, but I can't see us paying anywhere near 75 million.
I mean, if we would have signed him for that price in the summer, it would. Man,
yeah, I know.
It would have literally transformed our defence.
I know.
It's just so frustrating, man. This Daniel Levy tricks over and over again, isn't it?
It is really frustrating knowing that we could have had him. He was available to us. We literally saw Steve Hitchen with his representatives. They were clearly willing to sell him, but it doesn't look like that one's going to happen anymore.
Unfortunately. Let's move on. This is from Defensa Central, a publication out in Spain. And they say Zinedine Zidane has made it clear that he does not want Gareth Bale back at Real Madrid. His dislike for the player is no longer just football-based, and the club will listen to any offers this summer. Do you think we're going to be coming back in for him in the summer, maybe for a permanent transfer, or what do you think?
Yeah, it depends on how the rest of the season goes. I think there's a slim chance, but I think even if we go for a permanent transfer, Madrid are going to have to put their hand in the pocket, a la like what Man City did with Adebayor. Like, even though we had him on loan originally, when we signed him, they still paid a portion of his wages even after we signed him. So it would have to be something like that to get him on the wage bill. maybe if we spend a little bit of money, like 10 million on him on a transfer fee, and then Madrid pay a portion of his wages, there's a possibility. But still, at the moment, given how much he's contributed this season, which is not enough for the amount of money we paid, it's unlikely. But if he does have a very strong end to the season, and given the form he's been in for the last 6 weeks, month or so, you never know. You never know. And I think if he does have a really strong end, I think there are very few players with that quality that we can get. So I think there's a slight chance, but I still say at the moment it's very slim.
Yeah, I completely agree. Now let's move on to the last bit of international roundup. Last night, England played Poland, winning 2-1. Harry Kane getting on the score sheet from the penalty spot. Playing 89 minutes, he got a nice little 1-2 minute rest right at the end.
But he was down injured.
Which made everyone's heart stops for a few seconds, but it looked like it was just winded or something like that. But after that goal, Harry Kane has now scored 47 goal contributions in 48 matches. That's 47 goals and assists in 48 matches for club and country this season. And elite numbers, isn't it?
Apparently he scored in every single qualifier since 2017. Yeah. Shows the consistency of the man. He does it for club and country. What a player. And he's having an amazing season. Absolutely amazing season. And some people say he's slowing down, but I don't think so.
And he's also now the all-time leading penalty scorer for England with 10 goals from the penalty spot, overtaking Frank Lampard, who was on 9. So even from the spot, he's absolutely dynamite, isn't he? So exactly. Let's move on. Austria is 0, Denmark 4. Højbjerg grabbing a goal and assist for his country and playing 90 minutes. Bosnia lost 1-0 to France with Hugo Lloris playing 90 minutes, Sissoko playing 1 minute, and Hugo Lloris completing his 123rd cap for his country.
Congratulations, Hugo.
Estonia losing 1-0 to Sweden. Our youth player Maxim Pastotsky playing 90 minutes for his country. His 3rd appearance for his country in this international break, and he came up against Zlatan Ibrahimovic, so that must have been an experience for him. And then finally, the England under-21s with an absolutely disastrous night. Looked like they were going through all up until the last minute when Croatia scored an absolutely stunning goal to make it 2-1. After Switzerland losing to Portugal in the other fixture, it looked like England were going to go through, but that stunning goal from Croatia.
Yeah, right at the end.
Right at the death of the game. Japhet Tanganga playing 90 minutes at centre-back. Ollie Skip playing 90 minutes at central midfield. Really big shame for the under-21s, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was gutting. And AD Boothroyd as well, coming under a lot of criticism for getting this young, talented group of players, couldn't get in out the group stage, which is fair. But they were very unlucky in that game in terms of they completely deserved to be 2-0 up.
They made their own bed, though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, for the other 2 games. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in that game they got unlucky with that last second 30-yard strike from the Croatia guys, and Curtis Jones showing how much it meant to him after the final whistle, getting himself sent off after I think being goaded by a few of the Croatia players or something. But it's a shame because there's a lot of talent in there and they should definitely be progressing, but what can you do? It is what it is at the moment with the England under-21s. I always feel like they always have a talented group of players, but they never really do much. I don't know if people take it seriously enough or not. I don't know.
Maybe. But look, that is your Tottenham update. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding anything we spoke about today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on you Spurs.